Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. This time, we're going to be tackling a question that I think is on a lot of people's minds.
Oh, yeah.
What separates good companies from truly great ones?
Yeah.
And, luckily for us, we have Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, to help us unpack this.
Right.
This book was inspired by a challenge.
Oh, wow.
From board member Bill Meehan.
Yeah.
And it took them 5 years of research to try to uncover those factors.
Wow.
That make companies not just successful, but exceptional and successful for the long haul.
Yes. And what's fascinating about this research is that it didn't start with an answer.
Okay.
It started with a question, right? Sparked by Meehan's challenge to the research team.
So they were looking for what then? What?
Well, so think about companies that performed at an average level for 15 years.
Okay.
And then,
good, but not great.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
but not great. And then all of a sudden, bam,
Yeah.
they take off like a rocket,
Yeah.
outperforming the market by at least 3 times for another 15 years.
Okay, so these are the companies that they were looking at.
Exactly.
Okay.
No flashes in the pan, just sustained, jaw-dropping success.
Your numbers are pretty incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, so if I had invested, say, just $1 in these good to great companies back in 1965, by the year 2000, I'd have...
A lot more than $1.
Okay.
So you would have $471.
$471.
$471.
Wow.
Compared to a measly $56
Okay.
if you had just followed the general market.
Wow. That's incredible.
To add some perspective, General Electric, a company known for its success,
Yeah.
only outperformed the market 2.8 times during a similar period.
Okay, so these are...
We're talking significant outperformance here.
Yeah, these are some serious returns, but how do they make sure that
Right.
they weren't just cherry-picking companies that just got lucky, right?
That's where their rigorous methodology comes in.
Okay.
In their quest to find an answer to this question,
Yeah.
they documented 4 phases of research.
Okay.
The first one,
Yeah.
the search, was all about identifying companies
Right.
that fit this good to great pattern.
Okay.
Then in phase 2, compared to what?
Okay.
They didn't just analyze these good to great companies in isolation. They carefully selected comparison companies,
Okay.
those that either failed to make the leap
Okay.
or couldn't sustain it.
Gotcha.
So by comparing these 2 groups,
Okay.
they were able to pinpoint what truly separated the good to great companies.
So they were searching for that secret sauce.
Exactly.
Okay.
And in phase 3, inside the black box,
Okay.
the team went full-on detective mode,
Okay.
examining company innards.
Right.
We're talking interviews, articles, financial statements, everything they could get their hands on.
Okay.
They were looking for those dogs that didn't bark,
Okay.
those unexpected findings that defied conventional business wisdom.
Gotcha.
And finally, in phase 4, chaos to concept,
Okay.
they took that mountain of data and transformed it into a framework of concepts,
Okay.
the sort of guide to greatness, if you will.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Spill the beans. What were some of these dogs that didn't bark?
Well, for starters, larger than life, celebrity CEOs
Okay.
brought in from the outside
Yeah.
were negatively correlated with going from good to great.
Really? I always thought that was the key
Wow.
to a dramatic turnaround.
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
But the data said otherwise.
Okay.
10 out of 11 good to great CEOs
Oh.
came from inside the company.
Okay.
And another one,
Yeah.
there was no magic formula linking executive compensation
Right.
to this transformation either.
So you're telling me it's not about throwing money at the problem
Nope.
or poaching a high-profile CEO?
Not at all.
What about strategy? Surely a rock-solid strategy is crucial.
Well, here's the kicker.
Yeah.
Strategy itself
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a differentiator.
Okay.
Both good to great companies and their comparison counterparts had well-defined strategies.
So it's not just about having a strategy.
It's not. It's about the type of strategy
Gotcha.
and how it was executed that mattered.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Right.
So it's not the usual suspects? What did they uncover? What?
Well, one of the most surprising findings,
Okay.
and this one might just turn your leadership assumptions upside down, is the concept of level 5 leadership.
Level 5 leadership. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
So instead of the stereotypical charismatic spotlight-hogging CEO,
Yeah.
the research revealed a paradoxical blend
Okay.
of personal humility and intense professional will.
This level 5 leadership thing is really challenging my assumptions because I always thought great leaders had to be super charismatic and attention-grabbing.
Well, humility is just as important.
Really? Oh.
Think about Darwin Smith, CEO of Kimberly-Clark.
Okay.
During its transformation, remember that seemingly crazy move when he sold off Kimberly-Clark's traditional paper mills?
He did. It was like...
And then Wall Street thought he'd lost it.
Like he was going against the grain.
Completely.
I remember reading about that. What happened?
He took a massive risk by selling the mills.
Yeah.
But then he invested the proceeds into consumer paper products.
Okay.
Fast forward 25 years, Kimberly-Clark owned Scott Paper.
Wow.
And was beating P&G in 6 of 8 product categories.
So he led Kimberly-Clark to like outrageous success by being humble and bold?
Exactly.
Okay.
Smith perfectly embodies level 5 leadership.
Okay.
When asked about his exceptional performance, his response was, I never stopped trying to become qualified for the job.
Wow. Imagine achieving that level of success.
I know, right?
And still contributing it to like continuous learning. It's almost like he was saying the company's success was more important than his own ego.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible.
Now, in contrast, consider Stanley Galt, CEO of Rubbermaid.
Okay.
Charisma, it just oozed from this guy.
Okay.
He was a media darling. Under his leadership, Rubbermaid experienced rapid growth.
Yeah.
But it wasn't sustainable.
So Rubbermaid was like a shooting star.
Exactly.
Burning bright but fading fast.
Yeah.
What went wrong?
Galt was a classic example of a level 4 leader.
Okay.
Capable, successful. But his focus was more on himself than building a lasting institution.
Gotcha. So he didn't nurture that.
He did.
That long-term culture.
Yeah.
This is so fascinating. It's like
it really is
a complete shift in perspective on what makes a truly great leader.
Yeah.
So level 5 leadership, this blend of like humility and steely resolve is crucial for building a good to great company.
It is.
What else did they discover?
Another concept that flips the script on conventional business wisdom is first who, then what.
First who, then what? So wouldn't it make sense to have a strategy first? How can you hire the right people if you don't know where you're going?
That's the common assumption.
Yeah.
But the good to great leaders did the opposite.
Really?
They focused on getting the right people on the bus.
Okay.
Before figuring out where to drive it.
So it's about like building a team.
Yeah, a dream team.
Yeah, of
all stars.
And then
together you chart the course.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do they have any specific examples?
They do.
Of companies that nailed this?
Wells Fargo is a prime example.
Okay.
They built a team so strong that many members went on to become CEOs of other major companies.
Oh, wow.
We're talking about people like Dick Rosenberg, who later headed Bank of America.
Okay.
Jack Grunhofer, who took the helm at U.S. Bancorp.
Wow. Talk about the talent pipeline.
I know, right?
So they really focused on hiring
the
best of the best.
The good to great leaders were incredibly rigorous
when
it came to people decisions. Yeah. They had strict hiring practices and weren't afraid to make tough calls.
Yeah.
Even if it meant letting go of talented individuals who weren't the right fit.
So they understood that like building a great company really starts with assembling a great team.
It does.
But what happens when the going gets tough?
Right?
How did these companies deal with adversity?
Well, that's where another powerful concept comes in.
Okay.
Confronting the brutal facts of reality. Yet never lose faith.
Okay.
The book calls this the Stockdale Paradox.
The Stockdale Paradox, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
Isn't that named after Admiral Jim Stockdale?
It is.
A prisoner of war in Vietnam?
That's right.
Okay.
Admiral Stockdale, despite enduring years of torture and imprisonment, never lost faith that he would eventually be freed.
Wow.
But here's the paradox.
Okay.
At the same time, he didn't shy away from the harsh realities of his situation.
Okay.
He acknowledged the brutal facts of his imprisonment and used that understanding to survive.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is.
But how does this paradox apply to like the business world?
Well, let's take Kroger, for example.
Oh, okay.
They were facing a serious threat as the grocery industry went through a massive transformation.
Yeah.
But instead of clinging to outdated practices, they had the guts to confront the brutal facts of the changing market. They acknowledged their weaknesses, adapted their strategies, and emerged as a leader in the industry.
You know, it reminds me of that saying, it's not about how hard you hit.
Yeah.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
I love that.
It's that kind of resilience, right?
Absolutely.
That these companies had.
Yeah.
But what about the companies that refused to adapt? Did they pay the price?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A&P, despite seeing the same changes happening, chose to bury their heads in the sand.
Okay.
They refused to acknowledge the brutal facts, and
Well, you know what they say, those who ignore history.
they're doomed to repeat it.
Exactly.
A&P's downfall was a stark contrast to Kroger's leader,
Okay.
who, when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges, said
Okay.
there was a certain Churchillian character to what we were doing.
Oh, wow.
We will persist for 100 years if that's what it takes.
That's incredible, that unwavering faith
I know.
in the face of such adversity.
Powerful stuff.
Did the research uncover any other
Oh, absolutely.
examples of companies that like successfully navigated turbulent times?
The book shares the incredible story of Fannie Mae.
Okay.
They were on the brink of collapse in the early 1980s.
Wow.
But instead of succumbing to despair,
Yeah.
they took a page from the $6 Million Man playbook
Okay.
and used the crisis as an opportunity to completely reinvent themselves.
They turned a near-death experience into like a springboard for growth.
It's amazing.
It sounds like they had serious grit.
They did.
But how do you create a culture where people feel safe
Right.
speaking the truth even when it's unpleasant?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One way the good to great companies did this was through red flag mechanisms.
Red flag mechanisms.
Yeah.
What are those?
Imagine systems or processes that make it impossible to ignore crucial information,
Okay.
even if it's negative or uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
One company, Granite Rock, implemented a short pay system.
Short pay. What does that even mean?
Basically, they gave customers total control over how much they paid on an invoice
Okay.
based on their satisfaction with the product or service.
Okay.
If a customer wasn't happy,
Yeah.
they could just circle the problem on the invoice,
Okay.
deduct it from the total,
Wow.
and send a check for the remaining balance.
Talk about putting your money where your mouth is.
All right.
That's pretty bold.
Granite Rock's CEO, Bruce Wolpert,
Yeah.
knew that this system would force the company to actually listen to customer feedback
Okay.
in a way that surveys or complaint forms just couldn't.
Gotcha.
It made problems impossible to ignore.
So it's about designing systems that force you to confront the brutal facts,
Right.
even when you would rather
Yes.
look the other way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did any of the other good to great companies use similar mechanisms?
Did they?
They did.
Okay.
They built cultures where people weren't afraid to raise red flags,
Mm-hmm.
point out problems, and challenge assumptions.
It was a safe space for
Right.
even the most uncomfortable truths.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about
Yeah.
level 5 leadership.
Mm-hmm.
First, who, then what? Confronting brutal facts.
Yeah.
What other gems did they unearth?
Another concept
Yeah.
that helps you zero in on what truly matters
Okay.
is the hedgehog concept.
Hedgehog concept.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's all about pinpointing
Okay.
what your company can be the best in the world at,
Okay.
and equally important,
Mm-hmm.
what it can't be the best at.
So it's about focusing your energy on where you truly shine
Yes.
instead of trying to be everything to everyone.
Exactly.
Like finding your sweet spot.
Imagine a Venn diagram
Okay.
where your passions,
Mhm.
what you excel at,
Okay.
and what drives your economic engine all overlap.
Yeah.
That's your hedgehog concept. That's your sweet spot for achieving greatness.
I like that visual.
Right.
So you're saying it's not just about following your passion.
It's
About finding that.
It's about finding that intersection.
Yeah. Where your
Yes.
passion and your talent and your ability to make money.
Yeah.
All align.
Exactly.
Do they say how long it takes to like?
Well, the book states that it took
Yeah.
the good to great companies, on average,
Yeah.
4 years to truly clarify their hedgehog concept.
4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not about some quick fix, right? It's about
It's about soul searching,
some serious
honest
self-assessment and the guts to like
Yeah.
let go of things that don't fit,
That's right.
even if they seem promising on the surface.
Exactly.
Do you have a favorite example
I do.
of a company that like totally nailed their hedgehog concept?
Walgreens is a great example.
Walgreens, okay.
You wouldn't necessarily think of them as like revolutionary or anything,
Yeah.
but they honed in on a simple yet powerful hedgehog concept
Okay.
to be the best, most convenient drugstores with high profit per customer visit.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
And they executed it with laser focus.
So it's not about being flashy or trendy. It's about doing something simple incredibly well and just pouring all your energy into it.
And they weren't afraid to make tough calls.
Okay.
Remember when they closed less convenience stores and focused on high-traffic locations?
Oh.
They even shut down some profitable ones.
Wow.
They were in bad locations.
So they were really playing the long game, understanding that true greatness requires some sacrifice sometimes.
It does.
Okay, so they had a simple concept, incredible discipline.
Yo.
But how did they make sure that like everyone was on the same page? Like, what is it just about having a strong leader that set a good example?
It was much more than just a leader barking orders.
Okay.
The good to great companies cultivated what the book calls a culture of discipline.
A culture of discipline. Okay,
Yeah,
what does that look like?
Self-disciplined individuals
Okay.
who don't need to be micromanaged,
Yeah.
operating within a system that reinforced the Hedgehog Concept.
So it's about having like
It is.
the right people and the right systems in place. Kind of like a dynamic duo, right? Working together to create a high-performing organization.
Precisely.
Do they give any examples of how this worked in practice?
Take Abbott Laboratories.
Okay.
They built a highly disciplined organization,
Yeah.
but it wasn't stifling or bureaucratic.
Right.
They struck a balance between discipline and entrepreneurship.
How do you do that? How do you create a culture that's both disciplined and entrepreneurial?
It is a delicate dance,
Yeah.
but Abbott found a way to make it work.
Okay.
They instilled a strong sense of accountability while giving people the freedom to innovate
Okay.
within the framework of their Hedgehog Concept.
So it's not about like blindly following rules.
Yeah.
It's about like a shared understanding of the goals, values, and systems that drive success.
Yeah.
And then giving people the freedom to operate within that framework.
That's it.
Okay.
Did any other companies manage to pull this off?
Yeah, did they?
Circuit City is another great example. They built this super efficient, almost machine-like system for retailing.
Okay.
But within that system, store managers had a surprising amount of autonomy.
So again, it's about finding that sweet spot, right? Between freedom and structure, giving people clear boundaries.
Yes. But empowering them to make decisions. Absolutely. And really like on their work.
And that's how Circuit City rose to become a dominant force in the consumer electronics industry.
Wow.
They even surpassed much larger companies.
I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
That the good to great companies, whether through level 5 leadership, the Hedgehog Concept, or a culture of discipline, are all about like walking the talk.
Yes.
Right? They make those tough choices.
They do.
And kind of go against the grain to achieve that lasting greatness.
They do.
Did the research highlight any other contrasting approaches?
Oh, absolutely.
To leadership and culture?
Let's compare Wells Fargo and Bank of America.
Yep.
During a period of industry upheaval, when Carl Reichardt took over Wells Fargo, he instituted a culture of frugality. Starting with himself,
Hooray.
He froze executive salaries, shut down the executive dining room,
and even got rid of free coffee in the executive suite.
Talk about leading by example.
Right.
It wasn't just talking the talk.
It wasn't.
He was like walking the walk.
He was right there.
Right there in the trenches with his team.
Exactly.
On the flip side, Bank of America executives clung to their lavish perks, executive suites, even as they faced similar challenges to Wells Fargo.
Yep.
They missed the boat.
They did.
On that whole culture of discipline thing. And it ultimately...
It hurt their performance.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a contrast.
I know.
So the good to great companies aren't just about...
No, they're not.
Like buzzwords or trendy concepts.
Much deeper than that.
They're about aligning their actions with their values and their goals, even when it means making tough choices.
That's right.
And bucking conventional wisdom.
Exactly. And that brings us to another key concept that underscores this commitment to consistency and alignment.
Okay.
The flywheel effect.
The flywheel effect. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like a giant heavy wheel. What's the connection to building a great company?
It's a perfect analogy. Think about it.
Yeah.
A flywheel takes a lot of effort to get moving, but once it's spinning, it builds momentum,
Okay.
making it easier to keep it spinning faster and faster.
Okay.
Good to great companies operate on this same principle.
Right.
They make consistent, disciplined pushes in one direction.
Yeah.
And over time, those pushes create this unstoppable momentum.
Okay.
Leading to a breakthrough.
So it's about having that long-term vision.
Yes.
An unwavering commitment to a direction, and then taking consistent action.
That's it.
To make it happen.
It's not about sprinting. It's about running a marathon.
Okay, I like that.
Right.
Now, in contrast, imagine like the
doom loop.
The doom loop.
Okay. Yeah, what many comparison companies fell into.
Gotcha.
Instead of building momentum in one direction, they would looch back and forth, chasing every shiny new object.
Okay.
Making impulsive decisions and failing to achieve sustained success.
So it's like the tortoise and the hare.
Exactly.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Do you have an example of a company that like really embodies this?
Oh, yeah.
This flywheel effect?
Circuit City, once again.
Circuit City.
Takes the cake.
Oh.
Remember how they went from a struggling chain of stereo stores to a retail powerhouse?
Yeah.
They did it by relentlessly pushing their flywheel in one direction.
From struggling to soaring.
I know, right?
But it didn't happen overnight.
It did not.
It was a gradual process built on years of disciplined effort and consistent execution.
Yes.
So how did they go from...
Well, they started small.
Yeah.
Experimenting with a warehouse showroom model for selling appliances. They then applied that same model to consumer electronics.
Okay.
And eventually they went all in on the Circuit City Superstore concept.
Gotcha. So it was like a series of
it was
consistent pushes.
Consistent pushes, yeah.
Building upon the last. And that created this unstoppable flywheel.
Exactly.
And this contrasts sharply with Warner Lambert.
Yes.
Right. Expert speaker. All right. So Warner Lambert was like...
Yeah, they were the hare in the story, always chasing after the next big thing, never building sustained momentum.
Okay.
They never had that stick-to-itness that the good to great companies had.
So it's not just about taking action.
No.
It's about taking the right action consistently over time.
Yes.
It's like building a muscle, right? You got to keep
pushing.
Keep pushing, keep challenging yourself to see results.
Exactly.
But what about the role of technology? Did the good to great companies use technology to like turbocharge their growth?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The book has a whole chapter dedicated to this.
Okay.
Called Technology Accelerators.
Technology Accelerators.
Yeah, okay.
And it's full of insights that might just turn your assumptions about technology upside down.
Okay, how did the good to great companies approach technology differently from those stuck in the doom loop?
Well, first of all, it's important to note that technology, while important, was never the primary driver of their success.
Okay, so they weren't
early adopters.
Yeah, they weren't just jumping on every tech bandwagon.
No.
Or trying to wow investors with the latest gadgets.
Right. They saw technology as an accelerator of momentum, not a creator of it.
So they weren't afraid of technology, but they weren't letting it, dictate their strategy.
Right. They use it as a tool to amplify their existing advantages.
Okay.
Let's look at Walgreens again. Okay.
Remember the dot-com boom in the late 1990s and the rise of drugstore.com?
Yeah, drugstore.com, okay.
They were the hot new startup promising to revolutionize the pharmacy industry.
Yeah.
With their online platform.
Right.
Many analysts predicted that Walgreens, with their traditional brick-and-mortar stores, would get left in the dust.
It was like the classic David versus Goliath scenario, right?
It was.
What did Walgreens do?
Well, instead of panicking and trying to copy drugstore.com's approach, Walgreens took a step back.
Okay.
They asked themselves, how can we use this new technology to enhance our existing strengths, better serve our customers, and make our Hedgehog concept even stronger?
So they stayed true to their core, even as the world around them was changing so rapidly.
They did.
They had the discipline to resist
yes.
the temptation to chase those shiny objects.
And they didn't rush into anything either. They started small, experimenting with a simple website and engaging in extensive internal dialogue to figure out how the internet fit into their long-term strategy.
That's a stark contrast to drugstore.com, which went from run to crash pretty quickly.
Yeah, they did.
What happened?
Well, drugstore.com had the technology, but they didn't have the clear concept.
Okay.
The disciplined execution or the deep understanding of their customers that Walgreens had.
So it's a good reminder that technology, it's just a tool, right?
It is.
It's the people, the strategy, and the execution that makes the real difference.
That's right. And the book offers another fantastic example, Nucor Steel.
Nucor Steel, okay.
They became a leader in the steel industry by embracing mini mills, which were more efficient and flexible than traditional steel mills.
Gotcha.
But here's the kicker.
Okay.
Ken Iverson, Nucor's CEO, didn't even list technology in the top 5 factors in their success.
He didn't?
He did not.
That's surprising.
Right.
You'd think the CEO of a company that like disrupted an entire industry
I know, right?
with new technology would be touting it from the rooftops.
Right.
But he didn't.
He emphasized the importance of their culture, their people, their consistent execution, and their unwavering commitment to their hedgehog concept.
Okay, so he saw technology as a valuable tool, but not the defining factor.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this applies to every company, in every industry. Technology is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic bullet.
Right.
It's most effective when used strategically to amplify existing strengths and reinforce a clear and compelling hedgehog concept.
This is all so fascinating. We've talked about level 5 leadership. First, who? Then what? Confronting the brutal facts. The hedgehog concept. A culture of discipline. It's Flywheel Effect.
Yes.
What a powerful toolkit.
I know, right?
But before we move on, I'm curious about the connection between good to great and another one of Jim Collins's books, Built to Last.
Right.
Didn't that book also explore what makes companies great?
It did.
Okay.
And it's a question that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
How do these two books relate to each other?
Yeah.
Are they contradictory?
Okay.
Are they complementary?
So which is it? How do they fit together?
They're more complementary than contradictory.
Okay.
Built to Last delves into what it takes to build an enduring great company.
Okay.
From the ground up. Those companies that have thrived for decades, even centuries.
Right.
Good to great, on the other hand, focuses on transforming a good company into a great one.
Gotcha.
That leap in performance.
So Built to Last is about starting great and staying great, while Good to Great is about going from good to great.
Exactly. And both books stress the importance of core values.
Okay.
A clear sense of purpose and a commitment to excellence.
So they're both about building great companies.
Yes.
But they tackle different phases.
Different phases,
of the journey.
Exactly.
Okay.
What are some of the key takeaways from Built to Last?
Yeah. What sets those enduring companies apart?
One of the key insights from Built to Last is that enduring great companies possess what Collins calls a core ideology.
A core ideology.
Yeah, it's a set of core values and a core purpose.
Okay.
That goes beyond just the pursuit of profits.
So it's about having like a deeper reason for being.
Yes. A set of beliefs that guide everything you do.
Right.
Think of it as the soul of the company.
Okay, so they have a soul.
They do.
Okay.
A great example is Hewlett-Packard.
HP.
One of the companies featured in Built to Last.
Yeah, HP, a legendary company.
Right.
They were pioneers in the tech world, and their culture was known for valuing innovation, collaboration, and respect for individuals.
Absolutely. So, and their core ideology, what they call the HP way.
Okay, the HP way.
Went beyond just building great products. It was about creating a company that made a positive impact on the world.
So they had this deep sense of purpose.
Yes.
It wasn't just about making money. It was about making a difference.
Exactly.
Leaving the world better than they found it.
That's it.
And this core ideology was like a guiding force.
It was.
For everything they did.
Yes, from their decisions and their culture to their product development.
Wow. That's truly inspiring.
It is.
It shows that you can be both profitable and purpose-driven.
Absolutely.
That you can achieve great things while staying true to your values.
And Good to Great reinforces this idea.
Okay.
The good to great companies weren't just driven by profits.
Mm-hmm.
They had a deep sense of purpose
that
went beyond the bottom line.
So whether you're starting a company from scratch or trying to transform an existing one, this clear sense of purpose.
Yes.
A core ideology that guides decisions and inspires actions is vital for achieving lasting greatness.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay.
And this leads to a question that many people ask.
Okay.
Why greatness?
Yeah.
Why strive for something truly exceptional?
Right. Why not just settle for being good?
Right. Is there something inherently wrong with simply wanting to be successful?
Yeah, why push? Why push for greatness?
I think the answer lies in the inherent satisfaction.
Okay.
That comes from creating something truly excellent, from reaching your full potential.
Okay.
It's not about external validation.
Right.
It's about the intrinsic reward of pushing yourself to be your best.
So it's not about bragging rights or a corner office.
It's not.
It's about the internal fulfillment that comes from striving for excellence.
It's exactly.
Great. Did the research provide any examples of this?
The book tells a story
Okay.
about a high school cross-country coach
Okay.
who built a championship team by focusing on the simple idea of running best at the end.
Running best at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not about being the fastest off the starting line.
Right. It's about having the grit and the determination to push through the pain
Yep.
and achieve your goals.
That's it.
It's about finishing strong.
Exactly.
And that's what this coach instilled in his team. He created a culture of discipline, consistent effort, unwavering belief in their ability to succeed.
And the results were incredible.
Okay.
The team went from being mediocre to winning championships.
Wow.
All because of a simple concept and a lot of hard work.
It reminds me of that quote. The only way to do great work is to love what you do.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And I think the good to great leaders would agree. They weren't just driven by profits or recognition.
Well, it was deeper than that.
They were driven by a deep desire to create something truly exceptional, something that would make a lasting impact.
Exactly.
So it's about building a legacy.
It is.
Right, creating something that's going to outlast you and continue to inspire others.
And this concept of building a legacy isn't limited to companies.
Right.
It applies to individuals, too.
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
How can we, as individuals, apply these concepts to our own lives? How do we build our own personal flywheels and achieve greatness in the things that truly matter to us?
That's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
And one that I think we should explore further after a short break.
Okay. Sounds good.
Stay with us.
You know, it's funny.
What's that?
We often think of greatness as this big dramatic event, like a sudden flash of brilliance or a stroke of luck.
Right.
But good to great suggests that it's more about consistency and discipline.
Right.
About those small everyday choices that add up over time.
It's like the difference between winning the lottery and building a successful business.
Yeah.
One is about chance. The other is about strategy, hard work,
right,
and a commitment to excellence.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, could greatness in any area of life be less about a sudden breakthrough and more about this steady accumulation of effort applied in a consistent direction?
That's a powerful question.
Yeah.
And I think the answer is a resounding yes.
Okay.
The flywheel effect isn't just for companies. It's for individuals, too.
Yeah.
What would it look like to build a personal flywheel in an area of your life that truly matters?
Yeah. How do we do it? How do we build our own personal flywheels and start generating that unstoppable momentum?
It starts with clarity.
Okay.
What is your hedgehog concept? What are you truly passionate about?
Yeah.
What can you be the best in the world at?
Okay.
And what drives your economic engine?
Gotcha.
Once you have a clear understanding of your hedgehog concept, you can start building a system that supports your goals.
Okay.
And reinforces your strengths.
So it's about defining your vision, your purpose, your why.
Yes.
And then it's about taking consistent action that aligns with that vision.
You got it.
Okay.
And just like those good to great companies, we have to be willing to confront the brutal facts of our own reality.
Okay.
What are our weaknesses? What are our limiting beliefs? what are the obstacles that are holding us back?
Yeah.
Once we acknowledge these challenges,
okay,
we can start to overcome them.
This reminds me of what we talked about earlier, the Stockdale paradox.
Right.
It's about having that unwavering faith that we will succeed while simultaneously acknowledging the challenges that we face.
Exactly. It's about balancing optimism with realism.
Okay.
It's about believing in our potential while being honest about our current reality.
And I think it's important to remember that we don't have to do it alone.
No, we don't.
Just like the Good to Great companies built strong teams.
Yes.
We can surround ourselves with people who support our vision.
Absolutely.
Who challenge us to be our best and who celebrate our successes.
That's so crucial. Building a supportive network of mentors, friends, collaborators can make all the difference in our journey to greatness.
It's about finding those people that believe in us.
Yes.
Even when we doubt ourselves. The ones who encourage us to keep pushing, even when we feel like giving up.
And remember, the journey from good to great is a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
There will be setbacks.
Yeah.
There will be challenges. But the key is to keep moving forward.
Right.
To keep pushing that flywheel.
It's about consistency, discipline, and unwavering commitment to our vision.
And maybe, just maybe, if we apply these principles, if we build our own personal flywheels and stay true to our hedgehog concepts, we can all achieve a level of greatness that we never thought possible.
That's the beauty of it.
It is.
Greatness isn't some magical quality that some people are born with.
Right.
It's a choice. It's a commitment.
A way of life.
So, dear listener, what will your journey to greatness look like?
What steps can you take today to start building your own personal flywheel?
What can you do to align your actions with your values and your aspirations?
Take some time to reflect on these questions. Revisit the key concepts that we've discussed today.
Okay.
And think about how they can apply to your own life.
Yeah.
And remember, the journey starts with a single step, a single push on the flywheel.
And who knows what amazing things you might accomplish when you set your mind to it.
Yeah.
And start building momentum towards your dreams.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep pushing those flywheels.
See you next time.